This is old Mike, old me living better. My motto is real simple. If you ain't dead, you ain't done. Hi, this is old Mike, old me living better. My motto is real simple. If you ain't dead, you ain't done. By the way, this is old Mike, old me living better. You know my motto by now. If you ain't dead, you ain't done. This is old Mike, old me living better. You know my motto. If you ain't dead, you ain't done.
If you ain't dead, you ain't done. You gotta love that motto. Well, today I got a good one for you. So I'm reviewing one of old Mike's videos. You want to stick around for that? So I gotta say, I first met Mike when there was this new school community that was created, and me and Mike kind of joined about the same time. And the community was designed to help new content creators kind of understand what YouTube was all about, and we would kind of provide our advice, which was really limited on how to do certain things, titles, thumbnails, and all those stuff. And so I subscribed to Mike, and I continue to watch most of his videos. You see, he's more into the YouTube content creation, and I'm more about a retirement lifestyle. So two different niches, but we still talk about the same things. So let's hear this.
Got monetized in 9 weeks. I now have 30,000 subscribers. So if you think you're too old to start a YouTube channel, or you're actually old like I am, then you need to watch this video, because I'm going to share with you 4 of the biggest fears that everyone that thinks they're too old or are too old to start a YouTube channel. They're the 4 fears I had to overcome when I started my channel. And I'm going to share with you those 4 fears, and I'm going to share with you how I conquered those 4 fears.
So here I thought starting a YouTube channel at 65 was kind of over the edge. This guy, oh Mike, he's 80 years old and he started a YouTube channel. And not only starting a YouTube channel, but he's killing it. He has over 30,000 subscribers. So someone's definitely listening to what he has to say. Now in this video, he talks about 4 things or 4 fears that he believes new content creators might have and how to overcome them. And I think those are really relatable to us in the retirement community. So let's listen to what Mike has to say.
So the number 1 fear is the lack of confidence. If you think about it, you've already experienced a lot of this. Your first job, your first date, the first time behind the wheel of a car. Did you have a lot of confidence then? Man, I didn't have any confidence at all. So here's the secret. You only get confidence after you start something.
So here's what I want you to do. Every time he talks about YouTube channel, replace that somehow, some way, and think of it as retirement or retirement planning or beginning to retire.
Start your YouTube channel, you're never going to start it because you'll never have enough confidence. Confidence is one of those things that once you start something, then your confidence begins to develop from that point on. To start a YouTube channel, you do need to have a certain amount of passive learning. I spent a couple of months before I started my channel watching as many YouTube videos as I could, read a bunch of books, but I had to move from that passive learning to active learning, push the record button, and actually start recording videos. So with this number 1 fear, I had to accept the fact that if I waited to have enough confidence, I was never going to start my channel. That's right, I was never going to start my channel.
So the first attribute Mike talks about is confidence, right? Confidence in yourself, confidence in your abilities. And, my lessons learned from that, listening to that piece, as it relates to retirement, simply is that, when you think about your younger self, a lot of times we say to ourselves, there's no way I'm going to be able to retire at 62 or retire at 50 or even retire at 70. There's no way. Social Security's not going to be there for me. I can't save any money. I live paycheck to paycheck. I'll probably die at work. We tell ourselves all these negative things, and then guess what? We live them. They become truth. And so confidence to me simply is, you tell yourself the other thing. I'm confident in my ability to come up with a plan, to stick with it, and see it through. Because I'm sure if you come up with a plan, you can say $50 payday. That's where you start. Put it into something where you know it's going to make some money. And you do that payday after payday after payday. And guess what? That starts to grow. And then you add more and you add more. And God sends you another $2,000 for whatever reason. And you go, where did this come from? I don't know, but I'm going to stick it in my retirement account because I want to retire. And you keep doing that. And guess what? You gain that confidence to say, hey, you know what? This thing is working. I'm saving money and I'm going to get there. I'm going to be able to retire at 62. That's confidence.
So, in these next three fears, you conquer them, they're going to build your confidence. So, the second fear is simply the fear of I won't have anything to say. But I got to tell you, that's really your competitive advantage.
So the second fear Mike talks about is that some content creators might say, you know what, if I start a channel, I won't have anything to say. Well, if you're an older content creator, you got a lot to say, I'm sure. But the way I relate that to retirement is that, that sounds like doubt, right? We allow doubt to kind of seep in. So the first thing we talked about was building confidence, right? Starting that retirement account, right? At whatever age, you start that retirement account, you start putting money in, you watch it grow. But then at some point we say, you know what, I'm not really saving enough, right? There's not enough money going in there. I'll never get to my goal. We let doubt kind of take over and start to be the driver, right? So we got to find a way to eliminate that doubt. And how do we do that? Simply by getting educated, right? Take a class, read a book, watch videos on finance, right? Understand how compounding interest works, right? Find the best fund to put your money in so that it'll grow rapidly. You do all these things, and your mind will start to turn, and it will start to focus on those things that are going to help you and eliminate doubt. So eliminating doubt is an important piece.
So, the third fear is okay, I've got all this content, but I don't think I'm going to be able to deliver it very well. I don't know how to, I'm not a very good public speaker. Nobody's going to want to listen to me. I'm too boring. But the truth is, shooting a YouTube video is not like public speaking, not at all. I've been a public speaker all of my life. I've spoken to thousands of people. The YouTube experience was so different because I went through this particular fear also. Because I'm speaking into a camera right now, I can't see any of you. But I'm not speaking to hundreds and thousands of people. I'm only speaking to one person.
So the third fear that Mike talks about is when content creators say, you're right. I do have a lot of experiences and stories that I could share, but you know what? I'm just not a very good speaker. Good news, you don't have to be. And if you're scared about public speaking, you're not going to do that either. You're going to talk in front of a camera. And if you get it wrong, guess what? You get to delete it and do it all over again. You can do it as many times as it takes to get it right. So as it relates to retirement, we say the same thing, right? In retirement, we say, okay, yes, I've talked to 5 other people. I've got a good understanding of how they did it. I've read some books. I watched some videos. I took a class. I'm getting educated. But then we start to let doubt seep in again. And we say, you know what? I'm just not good at implementing a plan. And Sarah and John's retirement, yeah, that'll never work for me. Well, you know what? It's not supposed to. Uh, when you go talk to other people about how they did it, you're supposed to take lessons learned away from what you gained by talking to them. It might be 1 or 2 things that you think could be inserted into your plan, that might make your plan work, that's what you do. But you have to create your own plan, right? You have to create one that is built for you. The only person that can build one for you is yourself. Even when you go to a financial planner, right? They're going to throw some numbers into a spreadsheet, right? And our AI will spit something out. Still don't mean that it's right? Because it has to be geared towards specifically you. And so the only person that could figure that out is you. So you want to build on your plan, right? You start with that savings account. You know you're going to need money, so you got to start savings and putting money away. You took those classes. You understand about compounding interest, and you know what you can do without and how much money you can save, and that's where you start. And you start to gain confidence because that retirement account starts to grow, right? And you don't allow doubt to seep in, and you say, I got this, right? And you keep moving forward. That's how it's done.
It's that I don't have enough experience with technology. I don't know anything about technology. This is a fear that ends up stopping a lot of people from starting a YouTube channel. There's another slogan that goes along with my slogan of if you ain't dead, you ain't done. And that is you're never too old to learn something new.
So the fourth fear that Mike talks about is, new technology. It's all around us, and it's moving at the speed of light, faster than a speeding bullet. And what is new today is old tomorrow. We know that. And it could get very complicated. But the biggest thing for content creators to know is that, to really start a YouTube channel, all you got to do is take your phone, hit record, and record something that is interesting. All right. Answer a question or solve a problem, stop, and then post it on YouTube. It's that simple. You don't need no highly edit videos or anything like that. There's a lot of channels out there that do exactly just that. They don't edit a bunch of things. They just press record whatever that is that they want, and then post. Now, how does that relate to retirement? Well, retirement, it can get pretty complicated too. On the basis we know and we start by gaining confidence is opening up a savings account or a retirement account. And then as you learn and as you gain more and more money in there, you start to think of, well, how do I make this thing grow faster? Well, maybe I put that money from a checking account into a high growth fund. Maybe it's a mutual fund or it's a ETF. Maybe you start putting it all on Apple and let it ride. Who knows? But as you gain more knowledge, you use the technologies that are out there, and there'll be some more, right? Updates, some more advanced technology that'll be coming out soon. You use that technology, you learn, and you understand, and you apply it to your needs. And that's how you overcome this new technology stuff. But let's see what Mike has to say to close out his video.
So here's the good news. If you're an older YouTuber, either you think you're too old or you really are too old. That's your biggest advantage, not your disadvantage. No matter how old you are, even if you're 20 or 30, you've had experiences that teenagers haven't had. If you're 30 or 40, you've had experiences that people that are 20 haven't had. You can always share the experiences that you have had. You can draw from that. But if you're 80 or 90, my word, can you imagine all the experiences and the wisdom and the things that you've learned? You've learned a lot more than you did when you're 20, 30, or 40. This is your competitive advantage being an older YouTuber. Start your confidence today. Take some time to learn some of the things that it takes to get a YouTube channel up and going. Hit the record button. Hit the record button. Edit the video. Post it on YouTube. Your confidence will go through the roof. Well, maybe not through the roof, but you'll be more confident than you were before you started the video. And when you do your next video, you'll be more confident. And the next video, you'll be more confident still. You will discover that you have all kinds of things to say, and you'll discover that as you share them from your heart, from who you are, that people will resonate with that. They will love you for it. Christo says that people may come back for your content, but if they fall in love with you, they'll come back to your channel.
Awesome video, Mike. We give you 2 thumbs up. If you want to see the whole video in its entirety, I'm going to link the video in the description. Also, his channel. And so, if you haven't checked out his channel already, you can get over there and, if you want to, subscribe to it. But I hope you're taking away some things about the retirement, right? So, too many people get to retirement age and they just don't have enough money saved. And the first thing they always say is, I wish I started saving money at a younger age. And so this is just a heads up that, if you're young and you're hearing this, think about it, right? Think about the things that we talked about in this video. Start early so that at some point in your life you can retire and not have to or worry about that 9 to 5 job. This is Chandler's Retirement Live saying, be safe out there. It's hot. Lights out.